game up.
Gotcha, boys. Oh god. Okay.
The live wires are powering through opening vault 1.
What the hell is that movement my body just went through?
One brave high note still singing out there.
Oh god.
I'm OG, y'all new to the game.
Welcome in, all of my average gamers to another most average impressions. Now, I can't quite call it a review because it's a little tough with live service multiplayer games to call it a review since it's always updating, always changing. Well, I guess as long as it's successful, of the finals. So we're going to talk about that today, and the main thing we're going to talk about is, where we're at right now after patch 1.5. Where we're at with whether or not we think the game has longevity, or whether or not we think this is going to be another. I mean, best example, honestly, I think is Hyperscape, because that was a good game, but it died super fast. And then we're going to also talk about, what we think of the new solos experience, the new limited time or experimental mode, and what my thoughts are on that. And then we're going to talk about the general balance, the identity, and whether or not I even think it's a good FPS game or not. Spoiler. Game's fucking awesome. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below what community you're coming over from, whether it be Apex, Call of Duty, Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege. I found that interesting, seeing all the different communities that people are kind of funneling into the finals. Definitely let me know what you think about the game, if you've given it a try yet, and let me know if you think this game is going to be sticking around or not. And as always, my friends, if you do enjoy this content, definitely give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down. It lets me know whether or not I gotta keep improving or not. And don't forget to hit that sub button, then that little bell notification, so you can get notified each and every time I drop content just like this. And yeah, let's dive on in, shall we? So first off, let's talk about some of the positives of this game. So the first thing I want to say that I really enjoy about this game, that I think is kind of a breath of fresh air, is I do feel this game has its own identity. Now, I know a lot of gamers and media journalists and stuff are trying to kind of box this game in and compare it to this game and that game and this and that, and I get it, because it does have a lot of similarities to a lot of other games, but I think the way it uses each and every aspect and blends it together really does give it kind of its own identity. I think the destructibility, the teamwork, the attack and defend, the mobility, the map design, I think it all kind of gives it its own its own punch, its own feel. And I really, honestly, I fell in love with it the very first time I saw like a preview, but I didn't even have to like play it. I already knew I was gonna love it, and the moment I jumped in my first match, boom, I was sold. Now, mind you, I do have some gripes. I do have some things that I dislike about the game, and we'll get into that later on. But I do like to start with the positive and the things that I do like. So to go along with the identity, excuse me, and the teamwork, I do like how they're classes, but it's not like it's not like what you normally see with classes. I feel like seeing a small, a medium, and a heavy, I feel like it's different than seeing like an engineer or a medic or a support. Or now, mind you, these kind of can fall into the stereotypical roles. You kind of got like your DPS with your small, you kind of got your support with your mid, and then heavy. I mean, that's kind of like a tank. But they all kind of can help each other in each one of those roles. So that's why I think Embark didn't go with those classic role definitions, if you will. Now the community, again, we'll get into that, definitely has their opinion on whether or not the game is balanced or is not balanced. And personally, I think the game is pretty good. It's pretty close, or as close as a game like this can get to being balanced and still fun. Because I think that's one thing that people are kind of forgetting with the competitive nature of humans. I do get this is video games are supposed to be fun, first and foremost. Like, you're supposed to enjoy yourself. Like, yeah, it's okay to sweat and fucking, grind and work your butt off to get better in a game. Like, I totally respect that. But at the same time, fun, relaxing, and enjoyable. These are things that people want out of a video game. And I think Embark definitely is emphasizing that, and I enjoy that part of the game. Things like the RPG, yeah, they suck. Okay, it sucks to get hit with an RPG. I'll give it to you. Even though with patch 1.5, they did down it by 10 HP, so it's no longer a one shot. Thank you, Embark. I do appreciate that. The nuke is crazy, and definitely, trust me, if you watch me on stream, which check the links in the description below to head on over to Twitch or my other YouTube channel to see me live Monday through Friday. Definitely. I get pissed off out of the, I want to throw my fucking chair through a door when I get hit by a nuke for like the third time in a row without even being able to fire my gun. Like, I get it sucks, but it's also, it's part of the nature, the chaos, the fun, the craziness of the finals. And I'm glad that they are working a way to kind of make it a little less powerful and a little bit more skill based to use a nuke. I do appreciate that. Because I think there is a good balance, but I definitely don't want to cut. That's for sure. And I do think that Embark has done a pretty damn good job of making sure that everything kind of has a counter. Now, mind you, some of these counters take a little bit more teamwork than others to be able to counter, but I think everything, has a counter. Like, a lot of people get mad that the heavy is a little too tanky or a little too tough when it's throwing its dome shield, barricades, and barrier out. Glitch grenades, boom, done. All of it except for the barriers, I guess, are disabled. Boom, out of there. Don't have to worry about them for 10. I think it's still 10 seconds. I don't think they touch those with the update. And then you've got things like the lights cloaking. Okay, well, you've got a tracking dart. You've got either motion sensors or sonars, I believe, will pick up cloaking, but not both. I can't remember which one it is. And then you've got what the fuck is it? Recon sense as well. So now recon sense is more of an individual, and you'd have to do actual call outs and stuff to be able to, like I said, work as a team, make sure your teammates are being able to counter those cloaks. And now the medium, I think the medium personally is the toughest one to counter. If you get 3 heal beams, or you get like 2 heal beams, 3 defibs, and a turret, and a couple APS in there, that is a really fucking tough team to go against. Now, of course, you can glitch them, but you gotta really time and coordinate those glitch grenades, because you gotta be able to glitch them to cancel their defibs and their heal beams, but you only get a 10-second window, so you gotta be able to coordinate which medium you want to go after and get them out of there. And you're probably only gonna be able to finish one in that 10-second window. So, or you got to finish one and then you got to hit the glitch. So, there is coordination that needs to be done, but it can be done, which is great. Because like I said, this kind of goes with the game, and my 3 big pluses for this game and why I really recommend people to try this game out is 1, free to play. Why the fuck wouldn't you take that, the half an hour to download a free to play game, whatever it is. And I get it, everyone has different internet and stuff. VoIP. Now, I know VoIP seems like a no-brainer, but some games just don't launch with VoIP. 2042. But apparently that's the thing. So this game does have VoIP, and it also has crossplay. So you're able to play with your buddies, you're able to talk with your buddies, and you're able to, basically get each and every one of your buddies to give this game a try with you, to go out and give some of that coordination. With the latest patch 1.5, they did turn VoIP on by default, which I think is a big plus. Some more people are kind of encouraged to use it, and you can shut it off if you want. That's fine. I have days where I don't want to talk on the mic, especially with streaming and stuff like that. It can be tough, because I try not to be inconsiderate to my teammates and stuff like that. If I got a lot going on in the background and stuff like that, I try to shut it off. But so those are the 3 big pluses that I think, and I do think the balance is pretty well done. I think some guns are quite a bit more powerful than others. Now, every gun is viable and every weapon is viable in the right hands, but there are definitely some standouts. So you got your M11 and your V9S for the small. Now the XP45 is better at range than those guns. I think that's my main gun of choice. But dude, that with the latest buff, the M11 is melts. It melts. Okay. And then you've got your FCAR, which is probably the overall best gun in the game currently. And then you've got your Lewis gun, and your probably the Lewis gun is the best gun. No, the shotgun is viable. Grenade launchers I don't even like to talk about, because those I think can just get the fuck out of the game. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never been a grenade launcher fan. I've never used them. I've never liked them. Get them the fuck out of the game. Now, shotgun is fun, like I think it's the 1887 on the medium class. That's a fun gun. I tried it in rank though, and I don't think it's quite. It's probably a skill issue, to be honest, because I don't use it a lot. Because like when I played the solo mode with it, I was having a ton of fun, dude. I was fragging. Mind you, half the lobby is lights, so it's like a 1 or 2 shot with that gun on a light. So which is weird that you can do 150 damage in 1 shot a light, but a medium takes like 3 or 4 shots to kill that only has 100 more health. So I don't know. I was unable to like 2-shot a medium, which I feel like you should be able to if you can 1 or 2 shot a light, but that's besides the point. Like I said, it's probably a skill issue on my part. And then the shotgun on the heavy is pretty good. I can't remember the name of it right now. It's like the S12 Spads or something. I don't remember exactly what the name of it, but you clearly know what the fucking shotgun is if you see it in the game. Those are all viable, but then it really starts to fall off. You got like the sword and the sledgehammer, which are good in certain scenarios, and like I said, in the right hands, there are some deadly motherfuckers out there with it. You've got the riot shield and like police baton or whatever, and like again, that is good in certain scenarios and in the right hands, but not everybody's gonna pick those up and be successful, especially if you're playing competitive ranked. If you're playing casual, playing just fucking around, do whatever the fuck you want. Who cares? Go no gun. Just fucking fist these sons of bitches. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit. I don't care what you're doing. But yeah, like I think there's definitely like your top tier, like four top tier weapons, 5 maybe, and then it's kind of a drastic fall off. So I hope that Embark does add either some more weapons or maybe some like medium, like a schmedium and a Marge or Medium class, like an in-between small medium and an in-between medium and large. I don't know. So I don't know what they're gonna do for the future of this game. I don't know if they're gonna add more gadgets and weapons, because obviously if they want longevity, they're gonna have to add something besides just maps and modes, I would think. But I'm not, like I said, I don't know what the game plan for that is. At least I haven't been able to see anything like that, or any confirmation on exactly what direction they're going with there. But I could just be ignorant. I don't know. Now, I do think that one of the biggest gripes I've seen, which makes no sense, and like maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just a borderline millennial boomer, so I don't understand people nowadays. But the game's been out a month, right? Like 30 some odd days, and people are already talking about being like bored, not enough content, like they don't know what to do. Now, I'm not speaking from a content creator side of things, because I get it. Like if there's not enough content in the game, it's hard to make videos on the game and it produce for your livelihood. Like I get that part of it. I get that argument. But as a general player, what the fuck, guys? 1 month and you're already like talking about like, oh, there's not enough content, it's boring, there's not enough game modes. Like, guys, what the fuck happened to like maybe it's because I grew up like in a time where games like didn't have constant updates and DLCs and map packs and things like that. So early on multiplayer, you got like your 6 maps and your fucking 15 guns, and like that was it. You played that for years, or at least a year, before you were like, oh man, like I'm really getting fucking sick of this. So like I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it seems like with the amount of chaos, destructibility, and randomness of a game like the finals, how you can be bored in 30 days, I don't fucking get that. The other thing with the community that's frustrating me is the level of negativity. It seems and it kind of going off of the previous point I just made, is just people are so frustrated, and like and I get it in ranked, like you're competitive, you're trying to get that next rank, and it sucks because it can be hard to coordinate with teams, and randoms can definitely be a tough experience. Believe me, I know from experience. But god damn it, it is just a video game. Like there's no like, I get frustrated, and you'll hear me on stream, like I'll kind of shit talk my teammates and stuff, but I also shit talk myself, because I make just as many mistakes as my teammates, and I fuck up probably more, honestly. Like there's plenty of times where I get carried. So it's like, just chill the fuck out. And Like, everybody wants all of these balance changes done, all of these tweaks and, you know, things yeeted out of the game and things added and stuff like that. And I think people tend to forget that, like, and I really hate to say this because I don't like being part of that, like, gatekeeping community and stuff like that. But, like, go back to fucking Call of Duty then. Go back to Apex. Okay, and that's a tough thing for me to say because the last thing I want is for this game to fail. But stop trying to make every game like the previous game that you were just playing. Like, I think that is the problem with it. Everybody wants, like, okay, say Call of Duty is your favorite game. Every time you branch out to another shooter, instead of being like, oh wow, this is cool that they're trying this and they're doing this, and like, yeah, you know, I kind of missed this from Call of, so go back and play Call of Duty for a few matches or a fucking day or two, and then come back to this game. Like, don't try to make every game like Apex, like Titanfall, like Call of Duty, like Fortnite. Like, let games be their own fucking thing and enjoy what it is, if that makes sense. Like, I know I'm going on a bit of a rant and a tangent, and this is a little bit off of the review, but like, I've been just seeing so much around this, like, narrative of the game, like, doesn't have enough content, doesn't, you know, it's not balanced. And it's like, dude, if you say this game isn't balanced, then, and believe me, there are moments and parts of the game that aren't balanced. No game is perfect. No game has ever been perfect. But Embark definitely put a lot of thought and time in how these classes, these weapons, these gadgets were designed, and what counters what, and what can go with what synergizes. And dude, it's been 30 fucking days, guys. All right, it's probably been like 40 days or something like that by the time this video gets out or whatever, by the time we get it all edited, rendered, and uploaded. But like, figure the game out for a little bit. Like, do you like, and for anybody out there that remembers, like, Halo 3, like, Halo 3 didn't launch with a fuck ton of content. Now, more than most games do nowadays, mind you, but you know, we had a core selection of the main thing that kept the game fun was modes, and different game modes, and different, you know, experimenting with different things, and the Forge, when people created custom games. So these are things that I do want to come, you know, something like, maybe not something like, actually, I think a map editor would be cool. Honestly, I think it'd be a ton of fun. And some sort of, like, custom games, I think are two things that I do think would come, that I honestly think are gonna come. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm speaking out my ass on this one, but I have this feeling that something along those lines are gonna come, just because Embark has emphasized fun way more than competitiveness with this game. So I have a feeling those are gonna come. But, you know, mark me right there, you know, hold me to it. If this doesn't, a year from now, we'll go back on this video, and if this shit doesn't come or hasn't been on, like, a roadmap or anything like that, I'll eat my fucking words. But I got a feeling. So just everybody out there, just chill the fuck out. Seriously, chill out, have fun, smoke a blunt, sit down and play some fucking video games, okay, guys? But, you know, overall, I've had a ton of fun with the people I've played with. The ups and downs, everything that happens in the match, ton of fun. I've actually met a few people that I play with a little bit more consistently now, and they're an absolute fucking riot. So, you know, just stop. And then the one last thing I want to say is, like, this game has a foothold and a potential to be a foundation, to be like a quote unquote esport or a competitive game. Dude, it's been a month. Let the first season, at least the first 3 months of the game, get out. Let them figure some tweaks out, because they're on a whole new scale of players right now. Let them figure out the performance and the optimization and stuff like that, and then we can work on trying to balance it for a competitive mode versus a fun mode. Okay. But yeah, okay, so rant over. So then, all right, so let's get back into some more of the things that, you know, real quick, that I do enjoy about the game. Like I said, I think map design is great, with the destruction and things like that. All right, so let's talk about some of the gripes. All right, some of the things that I do think actually need to be worked on, okay? First off, yeah, content, okay? There needs to be some, and like I said, I do think the game has a good foundation and stuff, and I think Embark already probably has a plan, even though they don't want to put out a roadmap, because I get it. They don't want to make promises that they might not be able to keep, and I respect that. But a few more maps, a few more guns to experiment with. I will say the one thing, I kind of wish there was some more. And this is a bias, okay? Like, I don't know how to put this, but I do wish there was like gun customization a little bit. Like, I wish I could put a scope on every gun. I do. Like, it doesn't have to be like a fucking, I'm not saying like a zoom scope, like a sniper scope or anything like that, but like, I don't do well with iron sights. So only having like 3 guns that I can use because all the rest have iron sights, and I like I said, this is a bias thing, but there's got to be some other people out there like me that just don't do well with iron sights. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Every FPS, oh excuse me, every FPS game I've ever played, I just can't shoot with iron sight. I can't aim. I don't know. It just like messes with my vision for some reason. So I wish I could throw like, you know, a fucking hollow on like every gun just to help. Now I get it, balancing, they want to try and make guns unique and like guns better at this. Like if you want to scope, okay, use this type of gun versus so I get it, you know, I see the pros and cons. The other thing too, I definitely think that they need to work on a little bit more of like either netcode or optimization. I mean, this comes no matter what, but like I've kind of noticed that 1 out of every like 5 matches I get like some real pretty bad like slowdown or lag or like server lag, not like game, like the game isn't running well on my system, but it's definitely like server side. And it, in a game like this with as much going on, like those split seconds can really make or break whether or not you win a fight, especially if you're playing light class because you're a fucking glass cannon. And then, you know, the last thing I think that they should change or add is a few more game modes. Like, I get that you want to kind of bait, but and this is going to go on to my last point when we talk about the new experimental or limited time mode. But I get that you kind of have like your thing where you base everything around like coins or cash outs and vaults, and like I get that, but try something. Put some other things in there. Like, look at other team-based, because that's the other thing too, is don't look at other team-based games and look into that. Don't look into like trying to replicate like a Halo or a Call of Duty game modes, because let's be honest, most of those game modes, even if they are team based, everybody plays Call of Duty like solo. Everybody plays, you know, Fortnite solo. Everybody plays Halo as a solo. Like, we have our buddies, but like there's not a whole, unless we're like playing, you know, for money or in a tournament or something along those lines. Like, we're all just fucking off. We're fragging out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, those are my main gripes and the main things that I would talk about. And you know, those are the plus and cons of this game. And like I said, overall, definitely give it a try. It's free to play. What do you have to lose? Definitely give it a chance. Get a couple of your buddies. Definitely try playing with a team. It'll make your life a lot easier than trying to solo. But if you are gonna solo, definitely start with the casual modes and fuck around with that. Start with the casual tournament before you get into rank. Like, really get a footing for yourself and a feeling of each and every class. Like, play 20 rounds, 15, somewhere between 10 and 20 rounds with each class, and get familiar with it. You know, a few rounds with each weapon, and go into the practice range and fuck around, because this game actually has like a decent practice range to be able to go around and blow things up and try different guns, and definitely experiment. That's the main thing. It's just have fun, experiment, try different things, use your fucking brain. This game is so much more than a jousting match or a shootout of who aimed the best or who shot first. Like, there's so much going on, and that's why I like games like this. Why I like games like Battlefield. Why I like games like, you know, Titanfall. Because it's so much more. Because I'm not the best shot out there. I'm not. But I'm a fairly decent FPS player because, you know, I'm good with movement. I like to think, you know, 1, 2, 3 steps ahead, and predict, you know, and sometimes I definitely predict wrong, but try to predict what other players are going to do. And like, you know, games like this let you be able to play basically fucking 3D chess inside of an FPS. And that's something that I really enjoy. So definitely give it a try. And like I said, I'm sure you want to hear my final thoughts on whether or not I like the new experimental mode. I think it's a good first try. I think there are things about the game mode that are a little funky. It's basically like 3 mediums, a heavy, and fucking 8 lights running around in every match. And then usually about halfway through the match, 4 to 5 people have dropped out, and then it's only like the top 5 people that were already top 5 just competing against each other. So And like like, let's be honest, like bank it mode was basically already a solos mode. Like I've never seen any team coordination really in bank it, unless like I guess like if you just happen to be a 3-stack of like, you know, your buddies playing that and then I actually forgot to put this in there, so maybe I'm gonna throw this in now because I forgot about it. One last suggestion that I was thinking about for ranked or competitive play is kind of like how Overwatch does it, where you like select if you want to play a tank, if you want to play support, or if you want to play DPS or whatever the fuck the last class is. I don't think it's called deep, whatever. Before you actually pick your character. So then it's not like, then you don't, and then that would make it so every team in ranked is 1 light, 1 medium, 1 heavy, and then you're not seeing a 3-stack of heavies with 3 domes, 3 barriers, 4 barricades, an RPG, 2 nukes, versus a 3-stack of lights, because of, you know, that's just how you got set up, as 3 solo lights. You know what I mean? I think that would be something. Now I get it, let the player base kind of get their feel what class they do and don't like. But right now, basically, you know, now that I'm in the higher like ranks, like platinum and moving up to diamond and stuff like that, and I'm playing against more competitive teams, every team is like a 3-stack of mediums, or like a light, or 2 mediums and a heavy, or 2 heavies and a medium. But I rarely see lights. Now I do still see lights, and I am a light main, but I'm kind of switching to medium as a solo player. I think that's something that could help with solo players. Like they can queue in like, oh, I want to be a light, and I'm looking. Now again, I also understand that also makes it so that like probably heavies and then mediums, and then finally lights will have like the longest queue times, versus like everybody's probably gonna want to be a frag out fucking DPS demon and play light. So then there's gonna be like a split second queue time for lights, and then, you know, or it's gonna be lights are gonna find a match, but it's gonna be 20 minutes waiting for a heavy or something like that. So I get why they probably didn't go with that right away. But once the player base settles out, and, you know, you get a more stable, consistent of knowing what your number is gonna be, Embark, trust me, I think that's the way to go. I could be wrong, but I really think that's the way to go. Especially if you end up adding more classes that kind of fit into tank, support, DPS, and then maybe you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Embark? You hear me? You got your ears open here? All right, I'm just saying, just, you know, just a gamer here, just an average gamer trying to give some advice. That's all. But yeah, no, I will. Like I said, I'm sorry this video's been a little random. This is kind of like off the cuff. You know, I just got done playing fucking ranked all day, and, you know, I just want to talk about the game. I watched some videos online. I played the new update. I played the new solos mode. I've been playing ranked, and I just kind of wanted to get my thoughts and feelings out there. So, you know, the new solo mode, it's good. It's not great, but it's good. It's fun. I enjoy it. I can't play it for like 2-3 hours or anything like that, even though I am a solo player. It's definitely not a mode that I could like consistently play all the time. But yeah, I like to go out, frag out, warm up, you know, 6-7 matches, and then get into rank, or get into tournaments, or get into, you know, or like then go to like cash out or something like that. So yeah, honestly, if you're an average gamer like me, this is a game for you. Trust me, you're gonna enjoy yourself. You're gonna have fun. Especially if you got some boys to play with, or some gals. Hop on, see if you like it, see if it's for you, and yeah, you know, as always, my friends, if you do enjoy this content, do what the algorithm fucking commands, and don't forget, stay safe, stay healthy, stay sexy, and go make some average plays for your boy. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm over, I'm out, deuces, y'all.